Yeah, this is my message to the youths. It is the time we sit down and talk. This time when politics they are at peak or when they're about to be at peak, it is when our politicians come with a lot of deceiving words, trying to entice us, trying to buy our votes, trying to promise the youths jobs without strategies on how to create these jobs. It is high time whatever is promised to the youths is given to them when the person gets into the position. Youths in this country, Kenya, we are the majority. If we just unite and speak one voice, we are the one to decide who will be the next president. But because of the division in the politics and because of the tribalism in our country, we find ourselves we are divided. But now we should come together so that we fight for our future, so that we fight for the next generation, so that we fight for our tomorrow. These politicians, most of them are a big number. They have accumulated enough money for their families. They have positioned themselves in life. We are yet to position ourselves as youths of the country, but we are given promises of the jobs. Then after these politicians get into these positions, when they become the president of the country, the vice president of the country, when they become the governors of the country, they forget about us. This should come to the end. As a youth, you have a future and many years to live as compared to some of these politicians. If we had to live as per the life which is known or written in the Bible, the 70 years, because at the age of 60s, before 70, you have to retire. Most of the politicians, they are in their 60s. When they promise you, you give them the position, they forget about you. But now they are coming for our votes. Where is the youth leader who is going to fight for the youths? Atatoka wapi? Mtu ambaye atapigania wanarika. Youths are suffering. They are just toiling day in, day out, day and night, trying to get something to their pockets. But they just end up achieving very little. If you tell us of the 7,000, for how long are you going to be in position and give the 7,000 maybe in the long run for the over 15 years? When another person will come, will you change the policy? And you may not even give us whatever you promised. When you promise of meeting the Mama Mboga, when you reach status, when you just be there and become the president, will the Mama Mboga book an appointment with you and see you? Or you are just here coming to beg for just the vote and to seek the publicity? Sit down, give us what you have for the youths. Let's analyze it. Tell us how many positions, the positions which are going to come up. You're going to recruit new youths into position, not your relatives. This is a country made of over 42 tribes. What are you going to give the 42 tribes? You're not a president of a tribe. You're not a president from of the central people. You're not a president of the Rift Valley people. Not a president of the Nyanza people or the Western people. Not a president of the coastal region people. No, a president of the country. A vice president of the country. But the self-interests of most of the politicians are just made the life of the youth terrible. And until the Kenyans and the youths of Kenya, until the time we shall realize our power, we are going to remain in the problems we have been in before. Most of the positions, they're given to the people who know the senior government officials. Most of the positions, they're given to whom do you know? Now, we have people who don't know anyone in the government, like me. I know no one. I have no relative in the government. We have over thousands and millions of people in the country and youths who know no one. But their parents made efforts to educate them, to take them to high school, to take them to university, to at least ensure that they are not idle. They are trying to achieve, to just achieve some grades and some education. But now they have their degrees, they're sleeping with nothing, with no one to give them the opportunity, even after applying for the jobs. They apply for the jobs day in, day out. And because they know no one will consider their CVs. No one will just read their CVs. They will be taken and to put in the dustbins. With the time they are waiting for the government to just call them for an interview, there is no one to call them. They wait, they pray day in, day out. Prayers have not worked so far. Maybe they are going to work in the long run. Maybe it's a prayer answered. But I think it is the time for the government to rethink and restructure, come up with policies to give people who are competent to be in the right positions, not people who are known by the political officials, who will just miss somebody, a student who just obtained an help. He wants a job or she wants a job. But because she knows or he knows no one, the job is not coming through. Not because the person is not competent and qualified for the position, but because he knows or she knows no one. But somebody without a certificate, somebody who can even fake the certificate, the person is just there holding a senior position because he knows somebody in the government. But the person has been suffering because he do not know anyone. It is the time we just use our votes to defend us. We give that person who can fight for us. Failure to that, we sign an MOU where if you do not fulfill whatever you said to we as the youth, because you are the majority in this country, then we are going to appoint. We are just going to vote you out. Where shall a country without people who have the required skills and knowledge come up with industries? Where will this country come up with the skills to manufacture serious products which can create jobs, which can just create job opportunities for the learned and those who lack the skills? Why should we have a person with a strategy like, let me come up with a way of taking my country youths for training in another country where they can start manufacturing serious products? Look at how we are importing even rulers for children in high school, for the students in primary schools. How can we just import a geometrical set which is made of just a simple iron sheet over the steel? Simple materials. When we have all the raw materials in our country, we are just exporting them, maybe unknowingly or knowingly. We have the oil in Kenya. Turkana, it has been discovered, but who is talking about it? Jobs are there. Brains are there. We are there as youths. It is either you buy our ideas or we do not vote for you. It is either you just promise us what is workable and promising to the future of the lives of the youths, or rather we are not for you. We are the youths and the majority youths. Let the video circulate so that it can reach many youths. Share it out. And I'm very sure this is going to reach people and change even politicians' minds. We cannot continue being educated and lack jobs because we do not know no one in the political seats or positions. We have the certificates, we have the skills, we are jobless. Create jobs for Kenyans, create jobs for the youths. Jobs, big positions, or most of the positions, 90% of the positions should go to the youths. Continue just doing whatever you're doing as politicians. Then your relatives in the long run, the time will not be there. There will be beggars in China. There will be beggars in other countries. When we shall be no more, and you shall be no more, they'll become beggars because of your actions, which you're doing right now. Change now, change the future.